Hi. Somebody told me if I look up out of this ice, I can see some math, so I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, let's finish this one. I gotta make sure I have my calculator handy. Good, I'm ready. Now, fifth root of 243. You guys remember that you can write 243 as 243 to the 1/5 power, right? That's the same thing as a fifth root. So I just want to check this out. 243 to the 1/5 power is 3. Well, that's easy. So anyway, this is 3. Now, this one helps so incredibly much to write it with fractional powers. Because then you can just, well, this one we know is 3, but this one, 15 divided by 3, 5 is 3, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So this one's done before you even start. Practically does itself. This one's not as nice because 8 doesn't divide, 3 doesn't divide into 8, but 3 goes into 8 twice, right? So this is 27 to the 1/3, which I don't know if you know, but that's 3 because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. This is x to the 3rd and another x to the 3rd with 2 left over. I'm gonna move this 27 to the 1/3 over. Because this, all of this is still the 3rd root. Okay, and then the 3 goes into 11 3 times. I'm going to change this to the y to the 9th times y squared. Okay? Remember, every time there's 3, 1 comes out. So 2 x's come out. And 3 y's come out. Because 9 divided by 3 is 3. Y to the 3rd comes out. Everything that doesn't have 3 of them has to stay in. So these 2x squared stay in. This 1x squared stays in, and this 1y squared stays in. Okay, let's check 1458 fifth root. Hopefully 1/5 power. Oops, 1/5 is the same as 0.2. That's why I use 0.2 over here. Sadly, not. So I'm gonna take, I need a little extra room for this one. 1458 is 729. Times 2. And I'm going to check 729, see if that's a fifth root. It's not. You're equal. But I can see that 729 is, this is 9 times, I think 9 goes into it. 729 divided by 9, 81. And 81 is 9 times 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes. Okay, so I'm ready to do this one. So 9 we know is 3 times 3, and this 9 is 3 times 3, and this 9 is 3 times 3. So it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6 threes and a 7. Okay, there's already 1 3 out, and I'm just going to leave that out there. 6 threes and a 7. Fifth roots. So in here we have a 7 times 3 to the 5th times another 3, because there's 6 3s. M to the 5th times another M. N to the 15th. Okay? It's the 5th root. Okay, so what comes out? There's already a 3 out there. I'm just going to leave it. 1 3 comes out because there's 5 of these. 1 M comes out because there's 5 of these. And there's 15 N's. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. So there's 3 N's left out. And in the 5th root is everything that didn't have. So 3 times 7, that's 21 M. That stays in. So it looks like the answer is 9M N cubed times the 5th root of 21M. Okay. Now the stuff that's out is out, and the stuff that's in is in. So 6 times 5, that's 30. That's already out. 12 is the same thing as 4 times 3, and I know 4 is a perfect square. Okay? So I'm going to separate this 12 into 4 times 3. It's a square root, so x is the second root. So I'm going to separate this x to the 13th into x to the 12th times x. I'm going to leave y as y to the 8th, and z, I'm going to leave that alone also. So the numbers that come out, the square root of 4 is 2, so I know a 2 is going to come out with this 30, making it 60 out here. This, ooh, I need to move over that 60. Actually, I'll just move this over. 60, and this 3 stays in. Okay. X to the 12th, if we take 12 divided by 2 and get 6, we'd have x to the 6th out. Y to the 8th, 8 divided by 2 is 4, y to the 4th out. Ooh, I really made a mess out of this. This is y to the 4th out. Now inside the radical is this 3, 1x, and the z. And that's the answer. 60, x to the 6th, y to the 4th, times the square root of 3xz. Again, with 128 to the 1/7 power. 2. Sweet. This will be just fine. I'm going to separate this into 2 to the 7th, a to the 21 times a squared, b to the 28, because 7 goes into 34 times, that's 28, with 2 left over. So 1, 2 comes out, a to the 3rd comes out, b to the 4th comes out, and everything that's left in is 2 A's and 2 B's, are 2 A's and 2 B's. Okay? Ooh, I know 128 is 2 to the 7th because I just tried that out. There's already a 2 out. This is the 6th root. So I'm going to separate 128 in 2 to the 6th times 2. 6 goes into 21 3 times. So I have x to the 18th times x to the 3rd. Y to the 24th, z squared. Okay, that should make it easier to come out. There's already a 2 on the outside. 1, 2 is going to come out, so that makes a 4 on the outside. 3 x's come out, 4 y's come out. And everything else has to stay in. So this extra 2 stays in, this x to the 3rd stays in, and this z to the 2nd power stays in. Okay? Now, when you have a fraction, you could rewrite this as the whole thing under one root. Okay. Now, 4 and 8 can reduce, but it would leave simply a 2 on the bottom. Let's do it. A 4th root of 2. It's going to turn out that was a waste of time, but let's still do it. Now, the 4th root of x to the 6th, we've got x to the 4th times x squared, and y squared, there's not 4 of them, so that has to stay just like that. So the only thing that's going to come out is this x. But I'm thinking ahead with this 2 to the 4th power. You can't have a radical on the bottom. And you need 4 2's to make it a whole number. And there's only 1 down there. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by the 4th root of 8. Okay? So now on the bottom I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 2's, leaving just a plain 2 on the bottom. On the top, I can still take 1x out, but everything else has to stay in. This 8 stays in because there's only 3 2's and you need 4. These 2 x's stay in and these 2 y's stay in. And that's the answer. X, 4th root, x, or 8, x squared, y squared, right, over 2. On this one, it doesn't do any, well, I'm going to rewrite this with one fraction, right? 16 m to the 4th m. And see this n will cancel. N to the 4th n squared. And the reason why I separated that is because I'm going to cancel this n with one of these n's. Okay? So I think I'm ready to start simplifying. On the top, the square root of 16 is 4, 1 m comes out, and 1 n comes out. On the top still, there's an m and an n in the radical. On the bottom, sadly, it's the square root of 3. And remember, the square root is the second root. So I need one more 3 underneath the root. So then the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is just plain 3. But you do have to multiply by the square root of 3 on the top also. So I have 4mn times the square root of 3mn all over 3. Okay? We'll do more. If that didn't make sense, just make sure you get this done, and I'll have more for you soon. Thank you.